It goes without saying that Jamie Carragher is a twat, but in fairness to him, at least he's a consistent one. Here's a clip of him from 2016 losing his shit regarding Arsenal's post-match celebrations.
You have the celebrations at the end of the game, but something that is winding me up full stop now in football, this nonsense of team pictures on social media after games, in dressing rooms. You normally have those pictures with a cup. You know, you see it everywhere. It's not just Arsenal. Plenty of teams do it. It's an absolute nonsense. Stop doing it. Is that the type of picture you put on your mantelpiece when you finish 10 years' time? You're sunken. What's that? Oh, we won away at Man City. So what? They're the pictures you should have with trophies.
He couldn't help himself but finish on the negative. He's ruined 20 minutes of positive work there, hasn't it?
It's everyone. It's winding me up.
Fast forward 8 years, and he's at it again. This time following Arsenal's 3-1 victory over Liverpool at the Emirates last night, a result which keeps their faint title hopes alive. Now, I for the life of me can't understand why so many pundits took issues with the scenes at the full-time whistle. First you had Gary Neville claiming that there was an element of immaturity in Arsenal's so-called lap of honour. Then, Rio Ferdinand stated it felt like Arsenal had won the league with the way Mikel Arteta was running around like a raving lunatic, before finally, Carragher suggested Martin Odegaard should have headed straight down the tunnel after winning the game. When it comes to these three, they've won plenty of silverware throughout their respective careers, some more than others, and know there's a long way to go in the Premier League season, but surely the last thing the sport needs is to completely censor any remaining bits of passion that we do see. Players are like robots both on and off the pitch, whether it's because of PR agencies or managerial tactics, and therefore any display of emotion should be seen as a positive in my eyes. If we go by the logic that only teams who lift major trophies are allowed to showcase contentment, then any club not named Manchester City may as well have packed it in for these last 3 years in English football. Don't get me wrong, I find Mikel Arteta to be an insufferable prick with his antics, but I'm pretty sure that's only because I'm a Man United supporter. If he was in charge of my club, I'd probably love him for doing the exact same thing, and that fact often appears to be lost on football fans. While he's not won anything in recent times, it's clear as day that Arsenal are a completely different club to the one he took over from, and he deserves credit for it. As for Carragher, the trouble with his moaning is twofold. First and foremost, he was kissing Jurgen Klopp's arse for the same thing not so long ago, and it's fair to say that the German has no competition when it comes to being a passion merchant. Running onto the pitch and fist pumping have become an all too common sight with him, and no one will ever forget the scenes following a 2-2 draw with West Brom at Anfield. We can take the piss out of that as much as we like, but in hindsight, it's what helped create a sense of togetherness which eventually led to tangible success, something Arteta is attempting to emulate in his own way. Secondly, Carragher completely ignored the context behind Odegaard's behaviour. In case you're unaware, the man opposite him was Arsenal's official club photographer Stuart McFarlane. He's someone who's been supporting the club for decades, and even featured in their All or Nothing documentary on Amazon Prime, where he gave them a team talk prior to a North London derby which they ended up winning. With this in mind, what took place yesterday was a wholesome moment, and one Stuart will cherish for life, as Odegaard decided to return the favour for all his hard work behind the scenes over the years. I'm almost certain Carragher wasn't aware of this, and if that is the case, I reckon he should hold his hand up and say he got it wrong, instead of pretending to be a wind-up merchant to conceal the fact that he embarrassed himself in the Sky Sports studio last night. As bizarre as this may sound, I think a lot of the grief Arsenal get by the mainstream media is because of AFTV. As all the rants on there went viral, it became more and more noticeable how anything related to Arsenal started getting a negative spin to it and being completely blown out of proportion. Obviously, for a club of their stature to not win the league in 20 years is frankly unacceptable, but that doesn't mean they shouldn't be credited when they do pull off a good result. That's just the way I see it. Do let me know your own thoughts down below, and I'll catch you in the next one, folks. Peace.